We've got breaking news, my friends. I don't know if it's breaking, but I just saw it from 551. Governor Patrick Morrisey of West Virginia, based, has signed the ban on artificial food dyes and other chemicals in food. Starting January 1st, 2028, you cannot sell food in West Virginia if it contains one of 7 dyes and other fake garbage. This is epic. There were concerns that the governor was being pressured by major food lobbying groups saying the state will lose billions of dollars. In the end, he did the right thing and the difficult thing as a good leader, and he banned it. The New York Times says, in the most sweeping move of its kind, West Virginia has banned foods containing most artificial food dyes and 2 preservatives, citing their health risks. The legislation signed into law Monday by Governor Patrick Morrisey will go into effect in 2028. At least 20 states are considering similar restrictions on food chemicals. But West Virginia is the first to ban virtually all artificial dyes from foods sold statewide. Quote, everybody realizes that we've got to do something about food in general, said Adam Burkhammer, a Republican state rep who introduced the bill in February. Based. It quickly passed both legislative houses with broad bipartisan support. Mr. Burkhammer said he hopes the law will improve the health of children in his state and spur other states to take similar actions. California has passed similar measures, though they were narrower in scope. One passed in 2023 banned 4 food additives statewide, and 2024 banned artificial food dyes from school meals. I just want to say this is incredibly epic. The economic opportunity for West Virginia knows no bounds at this point. And while I have my beef with the state over their ridiculous Uber laws, I think we can get that stuff reversed. This is massive. We discussed what this means already. Food tourism. If you're a mom living in suburban Maryland, maybe you're in Hagerstown or you're in Frederick, you are absolutely going to drive the 30 minutes to the supermarket in West Virginia where you know every single food item is going to be devoid of this garbage.
This is epic.
Food, people, look, if we're hanging out in the tri-state, Virginia, Maryland, West Virginia, and we want to go to a restaurant, you think I'm going to, you know what I can't stand? When we go to these diners, and Allison and I, my wife, we've gone around, none of them use real butter. You sit down and you're like, I would like pancakes. And they take the spray onto the pan, and I'm like, I don't want to eat that. And then they hand you hydrolyzed soy or whatever, hydrogenated vegetable oil to spread with salt in it. There are some places that give you little pads of butter, but you still know they're using weird aerosol cooking spray vegetable garbage. Yep. Now, that's not being banned, but if it's got the preservatives, some of these preservatives, it will be, and they're very common. More importantly, the food dyes are out. Yep. So we went to, they have a little farmer's market, and they've got licorice, and it's this farmhouse licorice. It's like local distribution, and it's got all the artificial dyes in it. Really? I think it might have even had the carmine color. The cochineal mite paste. Ugh. Eat the bugs. Ugh. I'm stoked. I'm so stoked on
shout
this.
out to Patrick Morrisey. Day 1 in office, he brought back religious exemptions for families. So kids cannot get all the vaccines if you don't want to have to do that. Even private schools in West Virginia are following the vaccine schedule.
He's actually neighbors. We're neighbors.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, he lives in the area. Nice. To be fair, a lot of people live in this area because the Eastern Panhandle is close to D.C. Yeah. But they actually now, I think he's in Charleston, which is, the capital. Yeah. So he probably has dual residency. But all of the locals around, they all know him. And they say he's fantastic. Yeah. When he won, people out here were like, they almost couldn't believe it because it was, remember when Obama was going to win and there was that narrative that it was actual change? When Morrisey won and justice gets out, people were like, Morrisey's actually based. Yeah. And so he's held true to his word. I was concerned because when the legislature passed this, they had a veto-proof majority, so it's like, what are you going to do anyway? But I know the challenges when you are presented with all of these major food producers who are like, we generate billions in revenue in your state, and you are saying we can't sell this product anymore, we're going to leave. What does that mean for your schools, for your roads? What does that mean for your supermarkets? What are the costs going to turn into? Who's going to replace that? It's a very, very difficult decision. But I'm going to tell you now, if you're listening, the opportunity is endless. West Virginia's got 3 years, just shy of 3 years, to produce Fruit Loops without artificial dyes. Mm-hmm. The question then becomes, will Kellogg's Post and these other companies actually do it? They're going to go through a cost-benefit analysis. How much money are we going to lose if we don't sell in West Virginia? Is it $50 million a year? Who knows? Okay, how much will it cost to change and create a line of non-artificial food dye cereals? It's going to be expensive to create that whole line. Okay, how about changing it for the whole country? It might cost us $40-50 million to redo the recipe and get rid of the food dyes. How much are we going to lose in sales because we know people don't buy the dimmer, less vibrant colors? Right. That was the argument made by the food producers. They created cereals without the artificial food dyes. Sales went down. People liked the colors, so they brought them back. They're not going to abandon $1 billion in sales outside of West Virginia. You know what that means? Venture capitalists right now need to get on this. You invest in West Virginia, you will own food production, and it's food. You can't lose. It's guaranteed money.
Population's growing out here too. Good time to do it. You know, the houses are growing up over like through the ground overnight. Yeah.
Sadly, I think West Virginia doesn't have the sway over the national regulatory scene that California does, but it's the first domino. And there's so many red states right now that if they follow West Virginia's lead on this, right, they need to act in concert, create that critical mass. Yeah. The reason that California has been able to dictate terms for so long is because it's been such a big state. Yeah. What if red states actually worked together, right? If so, he gave 2028 is when this kicks in. Okay, imagine by the end of 2026, 13, 14, 15, 16 different red states had put in place similar laws.
And Maha could really get involved in that.
You just need to make it more expensive and more expensive and more expensive for these people to not offer alternatives.
I want to stress, though, they banned blue 1, blue 2, green 3, yellow 5, yellow 6, red 40, red 3. They didn't ban carmine color.
Dang.
Oh, no.
So the bugs are still there.
The bugs will still be available for consumption.
Look, man, I have a feeling the bugs are actually not as bad for you as people think. They sound gross.
Agreed.
But I have a feeling that it's probably not terrible for you. They're bugs, right. And it sounds gross, but they're animals.
But
better than petroleum byproducts.
It's better than that yellow that comes from tar or whatever it is, right?
Tartrazine,
that's it.
So butylated hydrox.
People don't even have to consider eating the bugs because the food's healthy.
It's un-American to eat bugs.
Butylated hydroxyanisole, BHA, prevents fats from going rancid, has been banned, and it looks like propylparaben was banned in 2020. Oh, no, West Virginia will prohibit. Yeah. Propylparaben was banned at propylparaben in California. It's used in tortilla chips, processed cheese, and packaged baked goods. Did you guys know what propylene glycol is?
No.
So we used that at O'Hare Airport to de-ice planes. Ethylene glycol, more commonly known as antifreeze. Propylene glycol is a bit different. We had two mixtures. We had a 50-50 concentration, and then I think we had a 100% concentration. I could be wrong. So what you do is, you get the orange and the green, right? You get it in a big cherry picker on a truck. I used to do this. This is what I did for a living. It was fun. And you'd wear crazy gear in a blizzard, and we'd grab the hose, and we'd open it up and blast the plane, just the whole wing, just with this orange sludge, which was heated 50-50 glycol water mixture. The reason why you use the glycol is it doesn't freeze, antifreeze, right? It's not ethylene glycol. It's not the kind that kills dogs. And then the thicker mixture was a sludge, a cold sludge, which you'd put on afterwards. You'd hit a lever or whatever. And this would stop ice from forming on the plane for a certain amount of time.
So it's like a wax, like a car wax, basically. It seals
like
it.
A gel. A gel that sits on the wing.
No, a gel, but the purpose is to seal it from ice. Seal it off.
No, it's to coat it in a gel that can't freeze.
Okay.
So it falls off. It sloughs off. It's like it's I don't know. It's not like Jell-O. It's like a gel, you know. And they put it in food.
Yummy.
They put it in your baked goods. You go to the gas station, you grab. So they added it to baked goods to simulate fat. And a lot of what we do with our food simulates fat. So right now there's concerns colon cancer is skyrocketing among millennials. One theory is that the gum we add to all of our foods, there's Gelen gum, there's guar gum. What's the other one? Xanthan gum. There's another one that starts with a T, I think. Yeah, I don't know. But the argument is these things are not food, but they add a thickness to the food. So it gets jammed up in your colon, causing absorption problems, causing disorders and obesity and cancers. is one theory. We put that in to simulate fat. So I have this really great coconut milk that I love. I'm not going to drag them. They put gellan gum in it. And so we decided to stop buying it because I'm like, look, you take a coconut, you give me the coconut meat from the inside and the coconut milk, the water, and I'll make something with it. But they want it to be thicker, like regular milk, which is thick because of fat and calcium, largely fat. Cream, yep.
Got to get rid of all of it.
They are poisoning all of our foods. Yep. I recommend you all look up propylene glycol and ask yourselves if you want to eat it.
Right.
They say it's safe to eat, but...
Let's get the fluoride out of the water, too.
I mean, just because it's safe to eat doesn't mean you want to eat it, right? I mean, I don't have any strong desire to eat propylene glycol.
It doesn't sound appealing.
Viscous.
After Tim's description.
That is how it's described. It's described as viscous.
Nice.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sounds delicious.
Yep. It's used as a food additive. It's considered as GRAS by the FDA, generally recognized as safe. That's going to get banned.
Good.
RFK Jr. said he was going to be taking away the GRAS exemption.
Great.
So they're going to, dude, it is wild that propylene glycol is approved as used as a vehicle for topical, oral, and some intravenous pharmaceutical preparations. It's used as a food, industrial uses. It's mainly used as, mainly produced from propylene oxide, but I don't care about its production. Tell me what they use it for. 45% of propylene glycol produced is used as chemical feedstock for the production of unsaturated polyester resins. In this regard, propylene glycol reacts with a mixture of unsaturated maleic anhydride and isophthalic acid to give a copolymer. This partially unsaturated polymer undergoes further cross-linking to yield thermoset plastics. Related to the application, propylene glycol reacts with propylene oxide to give oligomers. If you know what these things are, I have no idea what's going on.
I don't.
None of this shit should be in the human system.
It's used as an anti-caking agent, an emulsifier, a flavor agent, humectant, texturizer, stabilizer, solvent, antioxidant, really, antimicrobial, and thickener. I think it's disgusting. And it's antifreeze.
There you go.
See, I told you this is what we used to do. See this little thing?
Yeah.
I used to do that. You blast the plane. It was a lot of fun. Everybody wanted to do de-icing because it doesn't snow. Snow doesn't come. So if you have to be on staff as a de-icer. And so here's how it works. You're in the union. You make buddies with the head of the union. That's what I did. I made friends with one of the executive board members who eventually got elected vice president. And then I said, the next rotation comes up. I want to do de-icing. He goes, done. De-icing, you're usually just playing Xbox all day. Then if it snows, then you get to ride around in the top of a cherry picker, decked out and all this, like, you get a jumpsuit.
Sick.
You put it on, and then you blast the planes with a hose. It's one of the easier jobs to do, and it's a lot of fun. You have like this big fire hose, and one guy told me a story where his buddy was walking down like the pathway, and he blasted him with hot propylene glycol and just drenched him with it. And we were like, and then the guy training us on it was like, you know, they say it's fine to eat. And we all just like looked at each other like, is that guy okay? Like, he got blasted with an industrial antifreeze.
He's a superhero now.
I don't know. He's probably got cancer.
Or that.
Origin story.
It's one or the other.
Oh, wait, what? They use it for vape?
Yeah.
Yeah. Propylene glycol is aerosolized to resemble smoke.
Veterinary medicine. Freezing point.
What are you smoking there? Tobacco? What about you? Antifreeze? Huh. Aerosolized antifreeze. Which one do you think is healthier?
What was the one go down for preserving insects or something?
Wait, what?
I missed it.
Preserving insects?
I was reading like half of it and it disappeared.
What's humectant mean?
I have no
A hygroscopic water-absorbing substance used to keep things moist. Yep.
It's like
there you go. That's why they put it in baked goods in the grocery store, because it feels like it's moist like cake when it actually should be disgusting.
for trapping and preserving insects.
Which one?
You were just on it. It's like right there.
Oh, right there.
Yeah.
For including as a DNA preservative. Wow.
Awesome.
Oh, these are for smoke
Oh,
machines.
man, this is some pretty good stuff.
When used in
Looking
average
more of it.
quantities, propylene glycol has no measurable effect on the development and or reproduction on animals. and probably does not adversely affect human development or reproduction without active use. What does that mean?
I call BS.
Safety of electronic cigarettes.
It must be the opposite.
The safety of electronic cigarettes, which utilize propylene glycol-based preparations of nicotine or THC and other cannabinoids, is the subject of much controversy. Vitamin E acetate has also been identified in this controversy.
See LD50 there, which is the name of a Mudvayne album.
So
Just want to throw that out there.
Make America healthy again. Let's go.
Yeah.
So does anyone know? I know somewhat of seed oils started as oil to lubricate heavy machinery.
Canola. I think it's canola specifically, right?
Canola. Yeah. Okay. So who's the wise guy who started applying these compounds, these materials to food? Like I really don't. I haven't read anything on that. I'm not super up on all the Maha stuff. But these applications to food. I mean, for someone to be like, I'm going to lubricate my machine with this, and then I'm going to take a swig of it. That seems insane to me.
Well, I don't know if anybody takes swigs.
I know, but how you got here in the first place?
Are you familiar with sucralose?
No.
Splenda?
Yeah. Okay.
Splenda's a brand name for sucralose. As the story goes, what I can't say is definitively true because we've looked it up and we've put it on the show. A research student had mixed chlorine with sugar, and the professor or whatever said, "Test it." And he thought he said, "Taste it." So he tasted it and said, "It's sweet." My understanding is that they're trying to make a pesticide. By combining chlorine with sugar, the sugar would attract insects and the chlorine would kill them.
Right. Wow.
And then we decided, hey, why don't we put this in little packets and put it in all our food?
People are like insects.
Gross. Yeah.
That's how they think. It's like when they wanted fluoride in the water.
People are like
They were like, it'll fix the cavities.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.